a clean impact team. We are a live huddle for March. Thank you so much for sharing some time and joining us to discuss the world's greatest cleaning team out there serving our community, keeping people healthy, and making deposits into being our best version of ourselves so that we can show up for our loved ones, so that we can build the composure and the fortitude that we need to navigate through the challenging life that we all are going to experience, and to help each other build tools that allow us to grow together as a team and as a company, so we can continue to provide opportunities for all of us, so we can continue to provide a future and stability and a good ecosystem and environment to work and earn a living in. So again, it's just an honor to be part of that, guys. I just want to say a quick prayer to get things started off. Father God, thank you so much for watching over the Clean Impact team, for being with us, for encouraging us, for giving us strength and wisdom, God, for being with us even in the hard times. We know that we can always lean in on you for counsel and for comfort, Lord. We just ask that you continue to fill our hearts with happiness and fulfillment, and continue to fill our bodies with health and vigor, so we can continue to serve you and to serve others and to be our best version, God. We ask for protection, and I ask that you be with us. It's in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So always love those parts of it. Now, I know this is a kind of an unconventional second meeting for the year here, but I appreciate y'all being flexible and understanding that things sometimes pop up, but we always find ways to make it happen. One of our core values is to make it happen. So we figured out a way to go ahead and put a live video out. We can still have comments happening. We want to see people participating in the live feed over here, and just appreciating the fact that we're amongst friends, appreciating the fact that we are amongst professionals who are all in pursuit of being the best that they can possibly be. So we need this kind of community. We need to surround ourselves by good people so that we can continue to elevate ourselves, and so that we can continue to lift up and raise others around us to live and operate at the standards, the high standards that we've set for us as a company, and that I'm sure that hopefully by now you've set for yourself as a human being. The high standards are what elevates us and separates us from the path of least resistance, which most people go down, right? The path of least resistance, that's where everybody else goes down. But when you're going down that path with everybody else, you have the same mindset and the same frame of thought and the same intentions as the rest of those people. And that's just to barely make it by, just to have enough to maybe get an extra $5 coffee here and there. But that's the path of least resistance, and that doesn't take much effort. But in order to be your best version, to make deposits and to be disciplined into to having the fortitude and the discipline to have your habits be good habits and not destructive, it takes work. It's not the path of least resistance. You have to have tough conversations with yourself. You have to be coachable and humble. You have to make deposits constantly by paying attention to these videos and by pouring this into your family and into your friend circle, so that you can continue to fortify these values of elevated standards and making deposits into your excellence and being your best version of yourself. It's not normal. It's not common. Most people don't have it. Most people aren't willing to make that effort and the hard work, the resistance that it takes to get to that level of fulfillment in your mind, of self-confidence, because you kept the promises you made yourself. These are not easy things to do. But through the conversations that we have, and through our culture and through our team, we're allowed to continuously talk about these things. We're allowed to continuously work on these things. And most importantly, we're keeping it in front of our minds, so we don't get complacent, so we don't forget about it, so we don't just go back into the old habits and the old ways of doing things. We want to stay in front of these things. We want to constantly talk about keeping the promises you made yourself, so that way you can be confident enough to know that you can handle bigger problems. You can be confident enough to know that every day when you wake up, every day, I don't think there's a single person that gets up like, oh, it's going to be a great day. Unless you're going on vacation. Oh, today's going to be perfect. Everything's going to work out just as planned. It doesn't work that way. That's why it's so hard to get out of bed sometimes in the morning, because you're wallowing in your self-pity first thing in the morning. So, oh, I got to pay these bills, or I got to go get up and go to work, or I got to go show up to this. That's self-pity. Change your perspective. Change your perspective a little bit and keep a promise you made yourself, and get up and move. Get up and move. Build a little bit of confidence up. Build a little bit of confidence up. Get a little bit of swag going. Feel good about yourself first thing in the morning, so that way you can elevate your standards the rest of the day. You fly high the rest of the day. That's why we talk about with our carts all the time. Don't leave your carts a mess, because next time when you come in, the cart's going to be a mess. You're going to start off chaotic automatically. You're not going to start off in peace and harmony and get out there and serve the customer and do a good job and get some exercise in and be in your peace space and find your zen with a podcast or a book that you're listening to. Instead, you got to go into a funky cart, all disarrayed and all messed up. The same thing could happen first thing in the morning. If you wake up in this mind funk of all this, oh, woe me, all this stuff's happening. Yes, of course it's happening. It's life. That's what happens. It's not easy. It's challenging. But You build the disciplines and you build the confidence to be able to handle these little challenges over and over again. So when you wake up in the morning, it's like, hey, man, I got this. I can figure this out. I got this. God's given me the tools. I got the resources I need to be able to take care of this stuff. I know what I can do, but you got to take a breath first. You got to take a breath first. You got to give thanks. You got to change that perspective. You got to set your altitude. So that way you can fly high the rest of the day. Same thing with your cart. And it's like we talk about with when our customers come in the door, the first thing they're going to notice, you want them to be happy and cheerful and bright and fresh and clean and dust free. That way they can start their day off elevated. Ooh, look at how good Clean Impact did. Man, I'm being taken care of. I'm loved today. Now I'm going to go out and have a good time. Or they walk in and the trash is overflowing, or you forgot to do something. You forgot to fill the toilet paper up. Now they're upset. Now they're frustrated already. You set their altitude for them. You got in there and you set that altitude, and now that vibration, that energy is out in the world. It's out in the universe. What happens if they go home because they're all frustrated because they walked in, the trash can was overflowing, they already have a bad day. They go home and kick their dog around. That's on you. Heaven forbid that actually happens, but it could. Again, it's up to us to help elevate other people. It's up to us. The next person that's going to see the building is going to be the one that gets that feeling. The next person that walks into your cart and sees your cart is to be the one that gets that feeling, knowing they're being taken care of by professionals, knowing that they're being taken care of by somebody that actually has high standards, that's actually elevating themselves, that cares, that's trying. Nowhere in there did I say it's going to be perfect. We never say it's never going to be perfect. There's going to be ups and downs. There's peaks and valleys. You got to have the valleys in order to enjoy the good times. You have to have low times and struggles and hard times and detriment before you realize how good the good actually is whenever you get it. And then you start appreciating the little things because you realize how bad the bad can get. Because when you start appreciating the little things, you start digging yourself out of it. I start out of it. And then you get in this habit and you fall back into where your habits are going to take you. And sometimes that's in that negative path where you feel like the world's against you, or that it's always going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle constantly, and that you can't deal with it. The last is the one that you got to get over. You can deal with it. Everything you have is a choice. You have a choice. You can either respond one way or respond the other way. You can either wake up on one side of bed or wake up on the other. That's a choice that you make. That's a discipline to be able to choose the right choice. Mentally, out of habit, choose the path of happiness and fulfillment. And that's not going to be the easy path. That's going to be the one that makes you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go do that exercise. That's going to be the one that makes you have to spend that extra little bit of time doing that little detail that you know is going to matter. That's the discipline that we're looking for. That's what fulfillment is all about. And that's what you're going to find happiness by constantly making those deposits even when it's hard. Even when it's hard. That's when you get the most reward, is when you make those decisions when you're hard. I gave you the example before, and I'm sure many of you guys can relate to this now. You say you're going to go to the gym, you want to go to the gym, and you've been on a roll. You've been going every day for 7 days. Man, you feel good about yourself. And the day you wake up, you're like, man, I just didn't sleep good last night. My nose was plugged up. I got to bed late. My spouse was moving around the bed. The dog jumped up there. All kinds of excuses. You make up all these excuses and say, well, I'll just miss today. And then your voice comes in, your fortitude, your hard voice, your standard voice comes in and says, no, man, get up and do this. You said you were going to do it. Get up and do it. And then you get up and do it. After you'd already spent 10 minutes trying to talk yourself out of it and give me every reason why it was a bad day to get up and get out of bed. Every reason in your mind you came up with. But then you get up and do it. You get up and do it even when it's hard. You get up and do it when it's hard and you want to lay in bed and you let that voice come in here and chatter at you. I call it your bitch voice, the one that's going to nag at you and tell you that you can't do something. You try to listen to it. But then instead you got up and you went to the gym and you worked out. And then afterwards, you was like, man, that was the best work I'd ever been in. You know why that is? It's because you pushed yourself. It's because you got outside your comfort zone. It's because you did things that other people aren't willing to do. It's because you did the hard thing. And the hard things are what's rewarding. And that's why you feel so good afterwards. That's why you get that extra dopamine hit, because you did something that nobody else is willing to do. You stepped outside the box. You did not take the path of least resistance like everybody else is going to do. You make a choice to be the best version of yourself. You made a choice to make a deposit into being your best. You made a choice to live a disciplined life so that you can build the self-confidence that you need. And that's what that reward is. That's what that joy that you feel is. You've got to find those little rewards in everything that you're doing, because they all are valuable. The journey that we are on is all valuable. And I'm just so honored to be on this journey with all of you. I'm so honored to be able to have these conversations and coach myself. I'm learning these things along with you. We're all learning these together. Nobody's got this stuff figured out. And anybody that says they have it figured out, you better run from, because they're feeding you a line of bull crap. Because ain't nobody got it figured out. Nobody got this figured out. We've all been lied to, said life is going to be easy and things are just going to be given to us and it's just a handout and everybody gets a trophy. That is not the case. Life is a competition. Everything you do is a competition. And it's okay to play a competition for good exercise or workouts or stuff like that. But everybody competes in a competition, so they want to win. They want to win. You're not going to win every time. I never say you're going to win every time. But if you keep the promises you made to yourself, at the end of the day, you won. Be honest with yourself. Did you keep the promises? Then you won. That's the competition that we want to win. We want to win one day at a time, one decision at a time, one reaction at a time. We want to win those little moments, and we got to celebrate them when it happens, because we have to create the discipline. And we identify these little victories, we can store it in our minds. Ooh, that did feel good. Ooh, that did feel good. We keep pointing them out. Ooh, that did feel good. Ooh, that did feel good. Before you know it, it's a habit. It's a habit. And it's a good habit. It's one that serves you. It's one that serves your family. It's one that serves your friends, and one that serves their community. It's habits that serve. Every time we talk about a habit, everybody thinks about a bad habit, a bad habit, a bad habit. No. There's good habits too. And they form the same way. It's through repetitive doing the same thing over and over and get a little reward. A bad habit, you get the reward a lot faster. A good habit takes a little while longer to get the reward, but it sets in. It's a little deeper. It's a little deeper, and it hits your heart a little different. It's a lot better. It's stronger. It's more embedded. It's in your soul. That's the kind of habits we're going to do. That's the switch we want to flip when we wake up in the morning. We have a choice. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? We have that choice, and we're 100% in control of how we react to it. But you have to have the discipline. You have to have the discipline. You have to make it a habit. In order for any of those to happen, you got to hear about it over and over and over again. You got to think about it over and over and over again. And most importantly, you got to reward yourself with the little victories that you have over and over and over again, so you can continue to get that dopamine hit, so you can continue to thrive and be your best. There is no ceiling to your potential. There is no ceiling to it. You can continue to get better. You can continue to get better. And once you set a goal and you start getting close to it, you're going to raise that goal up again, because you realize you have potential and you are capable of doing these things. God built you into something strong. God built you strong. God brought you to this team for a reason. So we can grow together, so we can change that mindset, so we can change our family tree, so we can change our community, so we can change our culture, and so we can be the best version for ourselves, so that we can pour into other people and change other people. That's the mission that we're on. That's the mission that we're on. We chose the vehicle of professional cleaning as our vehicle to get our message out, as our vehicle to grow our culture, as our vehicle to pour into people. We chose this because it is a profession that is extremely valuable and extremely needed, as long as it's done properly. And fortunately, thank God, the Clean Impact team is working through those things. Thank God the Clean Impact team is professional, and we can have conversations like this, and you can have those inner thoughts that you have in your mind with yourself about being your best version. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's pouring into you. It's working. It works for me. I listen to these over and over. I talk to these things over and over. I talk to my family the same way I'm having these conversations with our team. It's not just no different. This is a lifestyle. This is what I've chosen. And I make bad choices still. I pop off still. I go hot fast still. But it's a lot less frequent than what it used to be. It's a lot less frequent, and I'm aware of it when it happens, and I have the fortitude and the humbleness, being humble enough to go and apologize to people when I popped off too fast, when I went hot too fast. That's part of growth. That is part of this journey we're on. There's going to be hiccups. There's going to be things like we do. It just happens what it is. And since we have grown, that's something I want to talk about. We have grown. The processes and systems that we started off with are a wonderful foundation for a beautiful, beautiful building and beautiful skyscraper that we are building. It was a wonderful foundation. But just like anything else, we've outgrown some of them. One of the things we've outgrown was our old training process. So all of our new team members coming in are seeing the exact same thing over and over and over again. Just like we all learned when we first started, but now it's just a little more structured, with a little more structure and some guardrails to keep us in where we need to go. We've outgrown the old system. It was a good system. We learned a lot from it. We've helped a lot of families. We've helped keep a lot of people healthy and safe because of it. We've grown a lot of people because of it, but we've changed it. And I'm asking everybody, all of our team members, the old team members that have been around with us for a long time, the new team members coming through have a system, have a flow, have a workflow of how we do things and when we're going to do things. Just like we've always talked about, but we've got a little bit away from it. So when new people are coming out to your building and they're floating, and our new team members who are floating, you might hear and see things that might have been a little bit different to what you've learned now. And I'm asking our team to pay attention to these things and help to coach and raise the next layer of trainees up into being the professionals that you all are, and that allow us to serve our community. So since we've outgrown it, I want to go through a little bit again. We talked about this at the last meeting, our sequence of cleaning. These are non-negotiables. This is what we do every single time. This is the order that we do it in every single time, right? First thing we do is we go to our closet. We make sure it's set up. We do our stretches. We watch our video. We prepare ourselves for the night. right? We take a breath, we meditate, we find a good book, we find a good podcast, we put it in one ear, and we get after that, get to work. We do our first step. The first thing is trash, right? We do trash in the whole building. Why do we do the whole building? Why? Yes, right. So we can put eyes on it, so we can secure our space, so we can see which areas have been heavily used and which ones might not have been used. So we're coming up with a strategy and a game plan to serve at a very high level. It gives us our first touch, our first visual on our project tonight. This is our first touch. We get to see it all. And we're walking around with our trash barrel and our can and a little spray bottle in case we got to wipe something off, and we get all the trash. We do it all the way through the whole building. We come down, we're done. Next thing we do is we're going to do our specials. We're going to do our specials. We're going to look at our app. We're going to pull it up. We're going to see which day we're on, what special it is, and we're going to do our specials. So if it's dusting windowsills and door jambs, we're going to dust windowsills and door jambs in the entire building. We're not going to run back and forth, grab our vacuum and do this, and run back over here and grab our Swiffer and do this. No, we're going to have that Swiffer in our hand, and we're going to dust the entire building. When we go to an office, we go in the building and do all that, and we come back out. We end up at the same spot. We go back around. We do the whole thing, and then we're done with that spec. And if there's another special, we do all that too. Now, if it's a special like dust windowsills, door jambs, and high-low corners, you can obviously go through and hit those, more systematically. I don't expect you to go through and do everything completely separate. But again, that's where professionalism comes in, and that's when, the strategy is to provide a superior quality service, to not miss any of these things and be consistent over and over and over again. This is why we do everything at once, and this is a process that we expect to happen. Next, we're going to go through and do our restrooms. And the restrooms have their own process. The restrooms have their own process. We want to do the one thing all the way through completion before we move on to the next thing. So we want to change all the dispensers around first before we move on. Then we want to clean all the sinks, all the counters, and all the chrome next. Then we want to clean all the mirrors next and polish up our chrome. Then we want to go through and we want to dry wipe all of our toilets. So now what we don't have, we have one thing in our hand the whole time. We're not running around with a bunch of things running back and forth. We have one thing. We're dry wiping with a yellow towel with 8 clean sides on it, the whole toilet, starting at the top, moving around, getting those dust bunnies off. Because remember, we don't want to chase those dust bunnies around. We want those boogers off of there, so that way we can get our face away from that toilet as fast as possible, but it also has a superior quality service. So we knock it all down with a dry rag. We do one toilet, we go to the next one, dry wipe it, go to the next one, dry wipe it, go to the next one, dry wipe it. Then we go put that dry rag away, we're gonna grab our Comet. We're gonna come there, we're gonna spray the inside of the toilet with the Comet. We're gonna spray the outside of the toilet with the Comet. You don't have to soak it down. You just have to spray it down. So we're gonna soak the first one, we're gonna soak the second one, we're gonna soak the third one. Then we're gonna go grab our toilet brush. Next thing. Now we got one thing in our hand again, just a toilet brush. Toilet brush in the little container. Put a little Comet in the bottom of the toilet brush container. Dip your thing in there. Get the toilet. Get up underneath the lip. Up underneath the lip. Don't just get down in the toilet because that doesn't clean anything. You gotta get up underneath the lip. That's where all the funk is at. That's where all the germs are at. And that's where all the bacteria is gonna settle back down the water line. So get up underneath the lip, clean it off. Put it back in your thing, go to the next toilet. Do the next one, do the next one, do the next one. Now you're gonna come back, you're gonna put your toilet thing down, you're gonna come back and grab your wet rag, your wet yellow rag, and you're gonna start wet wiping. Toilet, start at the top, start at the bottom. Go to the next one, start wet wiping. When you get down to the bottom of it, you wanna go about a 1 foot perimeter around the base with that wet towel, get all that stuff you just knocked down off of the floor and onto your rag, because you wanna pick that stuff up, because if somebody opens the door and a gust of wind comes through and blows all that dust right back on your wet toilet, it's gonna stick it there again. So you might as well take the 1 second it takes to wipe that up, fold your rag over to the next section, get that, do the toilet, get to the floor, do that. Now, all the toilets are done. All the things are done at once. Now we're gonna come through, we're gonna sweep. We're gonna sweep everything. We're not gonna mop yet, we're gonna sweep. Sweep everything out in the hallway, and then we're gonna come back through and we're gonna mop later on. But the next thing we do, now the bathrooms are done. We follow the system to a T. Follow the system to a T. And these systems and this flow is in our knowledge base. So if you wanna look at the flow, go to knowledge base, check it out, brush up on these things. Guys, we're asking our seasoned team members to realize that the system that we had was great and it served a purpose, but we have grown, we have evolved, we have become better, and we have a new system, and we want to make sure everybody is following the system to a T, so that whenever you're wearing this Clean Impact shirt walking around, you can be proud of the fact, knowing that we are taking care of business, we are keeping people healthy, and we're doing the things we say we're going to do, and we do it better than anybody else by following these systems, by following these processes, by having this understanding that it's greater than just us. We are serving other people. We are serving other people, and we're serving ourselves in the meantime. We have to follow these systems and processes. So now we got done with the bathrooms. Now we're going to move on to the kitchen and break rooms. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to refill the dispensers. We're going to fill the sink. We're going to clean the sink and the countertops. So we're going to make sure we get that drain really good, get that coffee ring up. Remember, the coffee ring is a big deal. It's big enough for what I'm talking about right now. Clean the coffee ring up. Clean the countertops. Then we want to move on to clean the fronts of the appliances. Then we want to move on to clean the tables and chairs and the horizontal surfaces. Then we want to make sure we get behind the backsplash of the trash can and the backsplash of the sink. We got to get those areas. And then we sweep the floor and we come back later on and mop. Next, we move on to offices and boardrooms. Offices, we're getting trash every night, but it's a once a week clean for the deep clean. It's like the vacuuming the floors and wiping the desks and stuff on. That's a once a week thing. We don't want to spend a bunch of time every day, but we're remarkable. So if we walk in there and get the trash, we see something laying on the floor, we're going to take the time to clean that up. We don't move stuff around. We don't mess with people's piles on their desk, but we want to make sure that we're cleaning the surfaces that we can without noticeably leaving lines of where we missed at, right? If the desk is cluttered, we don't mess with it, but that's a once a week thing. So we got to do it once a week. We got to do a good job. And going back to the specials, guys, reminding everybody the specials are once a month a lot of times. The dusting is once a month. If you decide you're going to try to skip that special one time because you're in a rush or you didn't follow the system and now you're behind or something else happened, it's going to be an entire month before they get hit again. That means it's beyond 2 months without being dusted. You think somebody's going to notice? You think so? They're going to notice. You don't want them to notice it because there ain't no such thing as a perfect clean. If they notice it, they're going to go look and they're going to find something else. And then when they find something else, they're going to have a snowball effect. You're going to have that bad energy, and then it's going to be a constant pick battle. Pick. What else are they missing? What else are they missing? Let's not do that. Pay attention. Follow the system. Follow the plan. So now we cleaned all the boardrooms and offices. Now we're going to move to common areas and entries, common workspaces and entries. Entries are a big thing. You guys all know that's where the bugs hang out. That's where the dust is at. That's where everything's at. That's why we have a system. We want to follow our process so that we can provide a superior quality service. And so that the customers understand that they're being served by professionals who care. So hit those lobbies really good. The glass, it's at nighttime when they're a lot of times, so you can't see the fingerprints. Sometimes get down there and look at different angles. Like Mike talks about, gotta get this way, gotta get this way, gotta get that way. You gotta look at different angles because it's dark. We're gonna see a whole different product than what the customer sees when they walk in the next morning. So we have to make sure that we're being diligent and paying attention to what it takes to provide that superior quality service, guys. And we are the professionals. We are capable. I know it. All we do is follow our system, follow our processes, make deposits, continue to do that 1% more. Continue to not be complacent. Don't take the path of least resistance wherever else is going. Be a winner, be a victor, and be proud of the fact that you did it. So the lobbies and that, and then after that, we're going to come back through and mop. We're going to mop everything. But you know what we're going to do before we mop? We're going to sweep everything again. We're not going to sweep everything again. We're going to sweep the areas we didn't sweep. And then we're going to make sure we mop. Because we don't want to think, oh, I'm just going to cut this out. I don't need to sweep. That floor doesn't look that dirty. I promise you, I can go back and I do this all the time in our training. Now, onboarding, the new folks have seen this and the old folks have too. I say, look, that floor looks clean, doesn't it? I just go ahead and mop it. Yeah, it looks pretty good, Alice, you know that? I sweep a small little 4x4 section. I got a pile of dirt like this big. I said, see, that's what you would have in the bottom of your mop bucket. And it takes a long time to go dump that mop bucket and wait for it to fill up and walk all the way back and continue mopping again. You might as well protect your mop water by taking the 1 or the 5 minutes it takes to sweep up real good before you start messing with it. And then we're going to mop. And we're going to wring the mop out really good. Remember, we're going to keep our water fresh. And as it gets dirty, we're going to take the time and say, I'm just going to squeeze one more room out of this bucket. Don't do it. You're going to deposit dirt everywhere. The dirt's already funky. You already question yourself. You know what's going to happen. If you've got to ask a question, you know what's going to happen. You need to change it? Yes, you do need to change it. Change it. Go get some more. Make it fresh. The first person that walks in this building is going to see the biggest surface in the whole office is going to be those floors. And if they're streaky and they're funky because you're at nighttime and you got a real wet mop, you're just sloshing stuff around, not worried about it, you ain't worried about it, they're going to see it first thing. First off, the sunlight's going to be there. Second day, the daylight's going to be there. Third thing, they're paying for a professional service, so they're going to be looking. And the biggest surface in their whole office, if it's got smudges and streaks and dust line deposits because you're going back and forth with your mop instead of sweeping it back and forth like you're supposed to, they're going to notice. And then guess what? They're going to say something. And they're going to wonder, well, if they missed this, what else are they missing? And since there's no such thing as a perfect clean, they're going to find something again. And before you know it, they're nitpicking us to death. And every day you go to work, you're going to be miserable because you don't wonder what they're going to pick this time, what they're going to find this time, what they're going to do. Don't allow those things to happen. Follow the systems, follow the processes, make deposits in to be your best version. Understand that our purpose is greater than just us. We are serving people. We're helping set up their day for success. We're keeping them healthy. We're keeping them safe. We're doing our part in our community. That is valuable. If that doesn't hit your heart, I don't understand how. We got to understand it's a service. And we're serving ourselves first by being our best version of ourselves, by keeping the promises we made to ourselves, by saying, if we say we're going to go do something, we do it. And we do it to the best of our ability that day. I didn't say it was going to be perfect. I said we did it to our best of ability that day. We gave it everything we had. And we can feel fulfilled at the end of it. We can build self-confidence because we kept the promises we made to ourselves. And that's what we want. I know it sounds like a broken record. I say the same things over and over and over again, but they're that important. They're that important. We all forget them. We all move on. We all go about our daily lives. We all go back to the old habits of popping off or being a fool or being emotional or not living up to our potential or not going into work or calling in late or just showing up whenever we want to. That's not how this works. That's not how life works. You've been lied to. Life is a competition. Work is a competition. Controlling your emotions is a competition. Raising your family is a competition. Being in a friend circle is a competition. Everything about it is a competition. And it's about the effort and the practice that allows you to win in any competition. You have to practice. You have to do it over and over and over again. That's why Michael Jordan, as great as he was, and as great as he is, he started every single practice with the most basic foundation of chest passes over and over and over again. He never let his ego get to him. He never thought it was too good to not do the most basic things. That's what allowed him to be great, because he never got complacent. He never took the path of least resistance. He never took his foot off the gas, and he always worked like the rent was due. How about that, Mike? Work like the rent is due, because there is no other option. There is no other option. You know what the path of least resistance takes you. You know the anxiety you feel and the depression you have and the heart aches that you have because you know you're not living up. You know what that feels like. Why keep going down there? You're making deposits. You're on your path. Just keep going. Keep winning one more day. Keep winning one more challenge. Keep winning one more hurdle. Keep winning one more. Keep one more promise to yourself. Keep one more. Just one more. You ain't got to think 3 months down the road. Think tomorrow. Think today. Think right now. Just win now. Win now. I want to win together. I want to win together. There's too much on the line. There's too many families that rely on this company to be successful and to provide a superior quality service, to let 1 or 2 people drag it down. We cannot let that happen. If you're that 1 or 2 people, you better start thinking ahead or stepping up your game, because we want to be around winners. We want to surround ourselves by winners, and we want to surround ourselves by people that are in pursuit of being their best, that are trying really hard. There's no threats there. Everybody's their own person. We want the right people on the team. You want to work next to the right person. You want to work next to a person that has the same values as you. So elevate yourself. Elevate yourself. The sky is the limit. We're not stopping. There's a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity, but we need the right people in the right pursuit for the right reasons, filling their hearts with happiness and fulfillment, doing a good job. That's what it takes. To celebrate that, we're going to have our spring fling. It's going to be the 3rd or 4th Saturday in April. It's going to be here at the Mullet. We're going to have games for the kids. We're going to have a lot of fresh food for all of the big kids. We're going to have some drinks, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully by then the kickball field's working. It doesn't look like it's going to be yet because there ain't no grass out there yet, but we'll find something to do, and it's going to be fun. So what I want from everybody, since we made it through this video full of ups and downs and full of sometimes you're inward looking to see if you really are up to the challenge for yourself. I hope you realize that you are. Hope you realize that God made you into greatness. But I also want to hear what you guys want to have for food at the spring fling. So let us know what's going to be on the menu. Tell us what you want. Tell us what we can serve you, because you know it's all home cooked food. If we make salsa, I'm cutting up all tomatoes myself. Nothing but the best for the best is our way to serve a team who serves so many. We have a lot of people that rely on us, like I said. We all have to elevate. We all have to be our best. We all have to put our best energy into it. That's the most important thing. Guys, I look forward to seeing everybody at the Spring Fling. I look forward to our next conversation. I ask that you replay this video again so that you can allow things to sink in. You are built for greatness. You landed on a team that wants to be part of this journey with you. We want to grow each other. We want to encourage each other so that we can continue to change ourselves. We can change our families. We can change our circles, and we can change our community, all because we're building self-confidence by keeping the promises we made to ourselves, by making deposits and doing difficult things, even when it's hard, and rewarding ourselves along the way because we know we're doing things very few people are willing to do. That's what the Clean Impact team is. That's what our culture represents within our company. And that's what you represent as a representative of Clean Impact, is that greatness. It's in us all. Let's go out there and win. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy your weekend.